What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Destroy coming back at you with a new video. This video is going to be different, talking about football. Now, I'm not just going to be talking about regular football, I'm going to be talking about DFS. DFS is daily fantasy sports, and in particular, we're going to talk about football. Now, I'm still going to upload Madden videos, MLB videos, video game videos, take a little break just because the football season started back up. Fully invested in this, so still going to upload videos. It's just been a little shaky. So what we're going to do today is Tuesday. I think every day of the week I'm going to do a new position, and then on Saturday going to give my suggestions on lines to do. You don't have to use these. If you do want to get invested into DraftKings or FanDuel, let me know. I have a refer a friend code. You will get money. I will get money. Just a good Kickstarter to get started if you're interested. Don't over gamble. It can happen. This shit is addicting. Anyway, we're just going to talk about quarterbacks today. So today, what I'm liking, and this is without any injuries, anything like that happens the rest of the week. Like I said, I'll make lines, Saturday suggestions. So let's just talk about it. So first off is Patrick Mahomes. He is the most expensive quarterback by far at 7,600, and guess what? He's worth it. If you just want somebody that's going to get you points, you're going to take Patrick Mahomes. They're playing Baltimore's defense. Baltimore's defense can be elite. They're a good defense, but Kansas City's offense is way too good. I mean, Tyreek Hill's out, and they're still scoring a lot of points. So 7,600, he's someone I would easily take. Lamar Jackson against Kansas City. It's the same thing. And honestly, they're the two best offenses right now on paper is Baltimore and Kansas City, and they're playing each other. So we could easily see a shootout and see like 100 points scored between the two. I doubt it'll happen. We could get one of those games to where both offenses they're going back and forth, but they can't really score. I doubt that's going to happen. My bet is they're going to do a shootout. So Lamar Jackson at 7,000 is still a very, very, very good play. Tom Brady against the Jets. Jamal Adams, who is their safety, the only really star on that defense yesterday, looking like he might request a trade. And if CJ Mosley and Williams are still out, Tom Brady is a great play at 6,600. In all honesty, I would play Tom Brady in front of Patrick Mahomes. If you're paying $1,000 cheaper, and Tom Brady's going to get you at least 23 points. In my opinion, they're just going to score. Next, we have Dak Prescott at 6,500 playing against Miami. Great play. Dak Prescott's been playing amazing. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks for this week. Definitely going to be doing a couple lines with him. So him against Miami. Miami doesn't even have a defense. They just traded away their best defensive player. And don't get me wrong. Like, you could say whatever you want about Miami's defense. Mika Fitzpatrick was very good. Like, he played good last year. They don't have a team. You can't blame them. Like, they got a first-round pick for him. He's good. So they just traded him away. They're without Gallup, but they do have Smith. Smith's a good play. Talk about him when we talk about receivers in the next coming days. So definitely Dak Prescott, one of my favorite quarterbacks. Deshaun Watson against the Chargers. Watson's a play for 6,400. I like Watson. I've liked him since he came to the NFL. Followed him a little in college, but I like him in the NFL. He got hurt. Had one of the best rookie. He was going to be the best rookie ever until he got hurt. That offense hasn't really hit that stride yet that a lot of people thought they were, especially with giving him a couple more weapons and a really good offensive line, in my opinion. So I like Watson. I wouldn't go Watson at 6,400. I would honestly pay 200 more for Brady or 100 more for Prescott. Russell Wilson against New Orleans. New Orleans just lost to the Saints. They are without Drew Brees. They had a really bad game offensively, but they did have penalties, and it's against the Rams. Rams play a very good pace game. If they need to score in 3 minutes, they'll score in 3 minutes. If they need to take a drive 10 minutes, it's pretty hard to get 10 minutes, but they can do it. The Seahawks look really good against Pittsburgh, especially after Roethlisberger went down. So Russell Wilson is another good play at 6,300. So still not one of my favorite players, but he's a very good player. Like any of these quarterbacks, you could play, and they're probably going to get you at least 20 points, which is really good for a quarterback. It's just how much you want to pay for those 20 points. Next is Jimmy Garoppolo at Pittsburgh. San Francisco looked really good last week. More importantly, their running backs looked really good. Jimmy Garoppolo, though, I'm not fully on board with him. Pittsburgh just did get Fitzpatrick, so that really helps their defensive back. And like I said, I haven't seen that much from Garoppolo that just screams, play. So not one of my favorites. Someone you can play a big tournament play. Aaron Rodgers against Denver. I like Aaron Rodgers against Denver. Denver has a really good defense, and I love Vic Fangio because I'm a Bears fan, and last 2-3 years he's been really, really good. And he's been doing really good without having all the star players that he did on the Bears. But it's Aaron Rodgers, so I'm liking Aaron Rodgers against Denver at 6,100. Next is Cam Newton. We just got information this morning that Cam Newton is hurt. No one knows the extent. He might not even play this week. So I'm not going to play Cam Newton this week. Some people might because they're playing Arizona, but he's too much of a risk at 6,000. Hasn't played good. Last week he played terrible. I'd go with some different options at quarterback than Cam Newton at 6,000. I'm sorry. Next is Josh Allen against Cincinnati. Josh Allen's 5,900 on DraftKings. I love Josh Allen. Like the fact that the first week against the Jets, he had 4 turnovers, which is crazy. You think somebody that has 4 turnovers doesn't get you any points. He still got 20 points. Last week, I think he got like 22 or 23, maybe higher, but they're playing Cincinnati. Like Cincinnati's defense is not good. Josh Allen is very inaccurate, but he can throw the ball and he runs. So those are always really good fantasy points that you can get. Next is going to be Kyler Murray against Carolina at 5,800. With the news of Cam Newton being hurt, this might make Kyler Murray a really good play. Carolina's I like their defense. They just don't click all the time, but at 5,800, and Kyler Murray's looked really, really good, especially against Baltimore last week. At 5,800, if you need a cheap quarterback, that's Kyler Murray's the play. Phillip Rivers against Houston at 5,800, I don't like. They had Williams, they had Allen, they had Eckler last week. I don't know. I don't trust Phillip Rivers enough to fully commit to him yet this season. I need to see something big from him or just a really good matchup. Houston's defense can be elite. They looked really good last week against Jacksonville, so we'll see, but I'm not bought on Rivers. Matt Ryan against Indiana. I don't like. Matt Ryan is too inconsistent as a quarterback. He could throw for 400 yards, but he might throw for 4 picks too. Like, you can't really trust him. Carson Wentz against Detroit at 5,600. He almost won the game last week against Atlanta while being hurt with no offense. That whole offense got hurt. I don't like that whole offense being hurt, so I'm not bought on Wentz. And we're just going to go over 3 more quarterbacks that are cheap. Matt Stafford against Philly. I like Stafford. He slings the ball. That offense looks like it's getting better. Like Stafford's trusting his 2 receivers, and Hawkinson can go off at any time. Kerryon Johnson had a really good game, so I'm fine with doing Stafford. And then Jameis Winston against New York. I like Jameis Winston a little bit just because he's 5,400 and just because it's New York, but it's also Jameis Winston, and you can never really trust Jameis Winston. I might play him. I honestly might because he's that cheap. Like, if he sucks, like, he's going to get 10, 12 points, but at 5,400, it doesn't kill your bank. And he has potential to get a 30-point game. Like, They're playing New York, so anything can happen. Daniel Jones is the quarterback. Don't play Daniel Jones, by the way. Don't play him. Andy Dalton against Buffalo at 5,300. Andy Dalton just gets fantasy points. Like, they're not going to win the game. Like, he threw a 58-yard pass to John Ross to end the game, but they're getting blown out by like 30, so definitely don't do Andy Dalton. Brissett against Atlanta, you could do. He's looked really good. Brissett's 5,200. Kirk Cousins against Oakland might be a good play, but honestly, Oakland's defenses look pretty good, but Kirk Cousins just looked bad. That's basically it. Any other quarterback, you're just taking too much of a risk for in cash or tournament play. So I honestly wouldn't go anywhere near any of those quarterbacks. So that's it for quarterbacks today. Like I said, news might happen. Anything might break down, but those are just the quarterbacks that you would play in a tournament or cash. Any other quarterback is too much of a risk, and I'm not going to go over that risk because that's just too much. That's too much. I can't trust my money on those plays. I'm sorry, I can't. Anyway, I hope you guys liked the video. Tomorrow we're going to talk about running backs. You get 2 running backs and possibly a flex running back. I like running backs this week so much. Like, they're priced perfectly. So we'll see what we want to do. But anyway, that's it for the quarterbacks today. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys liked the video, leave a like. If you guys didn't, don't leave a dislike. I'm trying out something new here, guys. I am 2 for 2 on DraftKings so far, cashing on both weeks. So just trust the process a little bit. Like I said, I'll give lineups out Saturday night or Sunday morning for who I think is going to go off as far as the entire lineup. So, like I said, we'll see tomorrow how I'm feeling about these running backs. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video.